we find that this tournament is the most try-hard tournament all the way up into the playoffs. You're in the regular season, you're in the first 5 weeks, and you're like, oh, regular season, we'll just play this match and hope we do well. And then there's that last 3 or 4 weeks of panic. We're like, are we gonna get the land seeding? Are we gonna make the playoffs? But until then, this is the most intense. You need to have this validation. You need to be in you need to be in CEVO, and like you see some really hardcore strats coming out. We did the other day.
Definitely, yeah. I hope these teams have some crazy strats ready to go, or maybe even some not so crazy strats. I just want to see some real standard, good, like throwing your nades and smokes properly.
Here's standard.
Good sec.
Rush B. You're watching CEVO TV, and the guy will do the entry for you. Up over the top of the balcony, sees one at the bench, and Chosen just tucked into the back, fighting one-on-one, and he's not called for any rotates except for the one person in the kitchen. This is the weirdest rush ever. It's one versus everybody who rotated to B. The guy wins it. Maybe he calls his team over. That Paulie cleans it up, and now that he's dead, look at the players in the B tunnels. You see an execute, and Paulie's rotated out. This is an actual strat. This is rehearsed. Now,
Yeah,
Doom is a bait.
rotated off too.
And they'll walk into B. They'll take over the site, and this is genius. Armata has made the entire counter-terrorist force leave. Now they can secure the bomb site, though they do fight a man. Oh my god! A2Z blows up strats on the first round. Destroys Amaru. And Red's won. What is going on? A triple. Instant MVP, though Paulie has a kill and a defuse. That might be enough to win him the gold star.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah. That's exactly what we were talking about in terms of what will take, what's going to take charge of this game. Is it just going to be the individual crazy play of, A2Z in this round specifically, or Area 51 as a team, or is it going to be the team play from Armata? Because we got to see literally the best of both worlds on that round. The strat worked perfectly. I mean, yeah, they did have a man advantage when they were taking the site, but really they couldn't have asked for anything better. And then A2Z was like, yeah, that's cool, but I'm just gonna shoot you all in the head. And just like
as
that,
impartials, we're great with that round. As a Counter-Strike fan, I'm heartbroken for Armata, who clearly put so much thought into that pistol round. When you reveal that strat, the entire world knows it, because that's the kind of strat that's a one-off,
Right, and it worked so well as the thing. They deserved that round, but A2Z just ripped it away from them.
I know. So everybody's up in the B tunnels, and I think the number 5 man Chosen has definitely identified it. They're just gonna say, YOLO, we're gonna keep this one real simple. Let's get out this door and try to destroy some faces that were stuck in the windows, and Chosen and Disciple are a joint meat grinder. No teams have claimed a kill up until Doom. 2 rounds for Area 51.
That round was about as standard as it could have been. Winning eco rounds is particularly tough on this map because there are so many choke points, and if the CTs can corner you and figure out where you are, it's pretty much just a spray down through the meat grinder, and that's what it was as they were trying to exit out of the B apartments. Let's see if they can do something with their CZs, though. They have about a day or maybe 2 days left with the CZ as it is. Who knows when the game is going to be patched, so get it while it's hot.
Call this an informal farewell to the CZs. The 5 CZ buy round may be a thing of the past as of 48 hours from now. That's not an official patch day, by the way, guys. We're just making that up.
Hopefully they fix it. I mean, I think the CZ can be like a really interesting mix-up as long as it's just not as ridiculously overpowered as it is now. Like right now, it does tons of damage. The fire rate is crazy, and we're gonna see them get put to use right here on this A take.
This is a identical copy of the complexity eco round with CZs. Flashes over, smokes to smoke up the critical points, but they have left a gap right in front of jungle, which could blow up their plans. They do have a plan, so that's a success. But I'd like to point out that this is a borrowed strat, and Doom walks away with an easy kill. Steno can't be traded, but A2Z does hit the site man, so that will count as a trade in and of itself. 2 versus... Oh my god, Amaru, you don't have enough HP to be standing out in the open like that. There's the defuse. Area 51 will have all 3. Armata goes on to the gun rounds with exactly this much money. 6-3, 6-2, 6-6, 6-8, 6-3.
Area 51 did a good job of winning that retake. Their money isn't as good as the money that you just listed right there. Chosen only has 3-7, while the rest of his teams have 5,100 or more, so they are definitely going to be buying up, but those CZs did a good job of hurting the economy of Area 51 Gaming. If they don't win this round, their economy is going to be all over the place with players like Paulie having $4,400. And
you may see that Armata's offense might be a little bit more sophisticated than Area 51's today because of how new this Area 51 roster is. When they switch, and there's a point to this sentence, Area 51 may become very vanilla. So it's incumbent upon them to win as many as they can right now.
Right. I like how they're leaving the bomb in spawn, leaving the bomb in a neutral location, kind of just spreading their arms out for information, trying to gather all the information they can. And once they've, pretty much made a decision of what they want to do, they're just going to group up. I think that's, a smart play, so that way they don't, get the bomb dropped somewhere where the CTs can easily recover it. And it just sets them up for a solid strat that they were going to probably do anyway.
Speaking of solid strats, it's going to be a split A take with a couple at the ramp and a couple set up right out of the palace. A2Z sees the cascades of smoke and flashes. He's isolated. They got a smoke in his eyes, but they are not going to enter the site. They'll just try to move forward. They're going to ignore the cubby because the smoke is protecting them. This is unique. This is hard to pull off. That's a TK. The guy just got punished. His money is hurt. 3 versus 3, and there's somebody in the site. Look at A2Z. The number 4 man is hidden, and he's about to turn it on. One more above you, A2Z, just a kill, and the bomb planter, and one more on top of that Balk. You do smoke off that cubby, but you can't forget about it.
Right, yeah. If there happens to be a guy in there, especially when the smoke dissipates, he's going to be right there looking for blood. He's not going to run through that smoke. We've all seen countless Reddit posts about how running through smokes is pretty much the death of you, because you can be seen so much more quickly than you can see out of it. So by staying put and using the smoke to his advantage, he was able to pick up 2 easy frags.
I'm of the opinion you win this game today, Armata can get out of their group stages easy, but it's a tough task because Area 51 has to be the toughest in their group. If you've noticed, Armata's offense, completely different than normal. We've seen out of 4 rounds, 3 set pieces. This is unheard of for them.
Right, I like it though. It shows that they've put time into the game in their own downtime. It's together in the shooting department, but I'm genuinely impressed with how they're playing strategically.
We've got another set piece set up over there. Romulus, the guy, and squad, all with their nades. The execute will probably start at around 50. And the first person to figure out will be A2Z. They're going after probably the strongest player on the roster continuously at A. A2Z has been a tick, just unable to be removed from the site. He picks up a triple and then hides, then gets traded by Samrock. He picks up a double, and Samrock is still fighting. There's the lurk. It's good. 2 versus 2, but we can't get too excited. Samrock is so weak. 2 versus 1. It's just Doom versus. Our number 9 is who we follow now. He's got to pick up Chosen right here. Now it's a one-on-one. It's very doable, but there's only 15 seconds left on the clock. The flashes will slow him down. He probably won't be able to go after the bomb, but he has to know he's on his left. And Pauly wins that round. Area 51 remains perfect, but just barely.
Yes, just barely. That's just another round where Armata was able to use a strat to their advantage, get a bunch of guns down, but just not quite cinch up the round. And because of that, their economy is not terrible. They're not, all in, $1,000 or $2,000 range. They have about $3,000 to $4,000 to spend, but it's a little too risky to start force buying right now. I think they're going to need all the money they can get and all the guns that they can get down the line. So I like that they're not forcing themselves into a situation where they're going to have to save down the line or anything like that.
So you're Armata. You've opened up the playbook. I mean, you've really opened up the playbook. And the playbook has been mostly stifled because of one guy, A2Z. New plan as the IGL of Armata. Tell me if I'm wrong here. New plan, stay away from A2Z?
Yeah, that's what I would do. He already has 11 frags just 5 rounds into the game. That's crazy. And I would also tell Steno to throw some slightly better flashbangs, because I'm pretty sure...
Look at this flank. Only Disciple left because they let them get into CT spawn. Disciple's now surrounded by multiple Ps. He'll charge one. He only thinks one is there. He'll be shot in the back. Certainly. He can't win, but he can maybe get this extra frag. There's one. And we'll have a saved M4A1 by Reds. Armata's finally on the board, and oddly enough, it's the round that they didn't have a strat.
Yeah, they just kind of went for it that round. They just put the guns as close to Area 51 as they could and pulled the trigger. And that's sometimes all you really need to do with the CZ. And they also kind of got a gift that round. Steno was sitting on the E-box stairs and threw just, I wasn't watching his perspective, but it looked like just a terrible flash. Team flashed himself and I think 2 teammates that ended up getting killed because of it. So that was kind of a gift, and Armata took advantage of it. They started accruing a lot of bonus money when they lost 5 rounds in a row, and they've stopped the excessive income from coming in. So they need to win this round very badly, but they do have high percentage chance as Area 51 is saving.
The guy turns, he may not win that battle, at least he's traded by his teammates. Disciples right above, a player drops the bomb, and then is traded again. This eco round looked promising for a second for Area 51, and it just is left up to the CZ wielding A2Z. Not to say that the CZ won't save him, because CZs deliver miracles on a regular basis, but I would think with AK's armor, bomb plants, it's not likely.
Right, and there's only so many places he can come from at this point. I'm pretty sure they split from mid, so they know he's not going to come from there, although they don't exactly know where he is as he's able to get a quick pick on Romulus coming out of apartment.
Look how tentative everyone's playing. They are just afraid of the CZ, afraid of how on fire A2Z is. There's one more right underneath him, and he almost got Samrock. There's the drop. There's 5-2.
I mean, do you blame them for being scared of him? He's just absolutely a monster when you give him an open lane to shoot and not a lot of players shooting at him. You know, unfortunately, a 1v3 was a little too much for him to put together, but in a 1v1 or a 1v2, I'd say it's very winnable from his perspective.
We've seen the playbook open up for Armata, then we've seen it closed up, and then a more progressively pub style of play adopted. I like the variations we're seeing, and I think it behooves them to keep going with this. Look at the 3 at the top of mid, at the old shipping container, out by the top of the boxes. They're all trapped, and they could be sprayed down because some of that is pierceable, if not all of that. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm pretty sure it is. Or definitely the box parts of it. If there's anything metal, it might not be spammable.
Standard, wrap A. 2 at the entrances of A at the ramp, and of course 1 at the palace. And of course, nobody's tricked just yet. 1-1 on the trade. Steno and Reds off the field. Now jungle sprayed. The guy couldn't get his aim down. Pauly wins with a piercing shot, and then a trade again. Romulus for Doom. Excuse me, A2Z for Doom. 2 versus 3. Now it's 3 versus 1. It's just Samrock. We know one's in the jungle. We'll show you this without the X-ray, just to show you how hard this is. That's how hard it is.
Yeah, that's a nearly impossible round for Samrock to pick up. A 3v1, you know, where time is against you. They knew the bomb was down. They knew pretty much exactly where you were, even if they didn't exactly see you. So, you know, nothing really going that round. This round, however, for the first time this game, we're seeing a scope from Doom. I want to see if he gets or at least attempts a mid pick here, and see what he could do with the round. No, he's not going to be picking mid. That's unfortunate. He's going to be bringing it A apartments.
Well, it's a good shot to have. You do want to isolate that jungle player, make sure that he's not able to fulfill his role, but just know that tragically, this round, there is no dedicated window player. So if the jungle player there, it's actually the E-box player. There's a drop, and that was a pusher. That's Pauly in the B tunnels who make sure that Romulus never gets set for his position. Romulus was sort of a flanker here. Sort of a lurker. We can't really tell what the strat was, but maybe he becomes an ISO pick. I don't think he was integral. Still, early to lose somebody.
Yeah, and a little unfortunate.
Now we've got one player progressing into the underpass, the bomb moving its way back toward A. It looks like a split take on A with a player at the top of mid, one from the underpass, one from the A ramp, and one from the palace. The strength of Area 51's formation is leaning all the way toward A. So, this is not going to work.
No, definitely not. I also think that Chosen is about to catch the guy off guard, as the guy is a little worried that there might be a player in connector or in window. If you have 2 places to look at, it's not really advantageous. And man, Chosen just rips Doom the Opera, AK versus off.
2 and 2 exchange. Now just 1 left. The guy versus you. Got to turn around faster. Chosen beats him to the punch. Every round, there's just 1 person alive at the end. This is so back and forth, but the score doesn't reflect it.
Yeah, exactly. Someone in the Twitch chat before, I guess, very accurately summed it up with just the simple phrase, shoot, shoot, greater than think, think. And, you know, so far in this game, I'd have to agree with that. On the surface, I think that's not the case. I thought Armata's strats that they clearly have and that they've been clearly executing really well.
I guess the metaphor, the think is Armata, right?
Yes, absolutely. And shoot being Area 51.
I got it. Steno's underneath. He has a literal cloud of fire above him, and he just ignores it because it doesn't affect him. He'll pick up so many kills just because everybody ignored him. That's the 3rd time in this game already that nobody's checked Cubby.
Yeah, that... I mean, that's a pretty standard spot. It's not like it's a spot that they haven't seen before, or that they'll be like, oh wow, there's a guy playing there. I've never, I don't really know what the deal is with that. Maybe they're just kind of like nerd. They just don't know where to look. A2Z has been pretty much all over the place, and he's been devastating from pretty much everywhere. Wow, this round their Area 51's mixing up completely by pushing, having a guy in the underpass area and having A2Z pushed all the way up mid. I bet he was going to pick up a frag or two.
He is going to, but he's out in open space. I can't believe he just picked up a double. Amaru just wasn't ready. It looked like he didn't have his AK fully primed, and he got dropped. You know what? The way A2Z was standing, back turned, I thought as he was waiting for a teammate to flash for him, and he just decided to go by himself. It looked like a point of frustration, like, please flash for me, and then he decided to just charge. It shouldn't have worked.
But it does.
It does.
It's like the CZ mentality. Oh, 24 bullets does moderate damage. You can shoot it super fast. That sounds kind of crazy. Let's put it to work.
Again, I'll show you. I'll diagram that for you. ATZ facing this way, waiting for probably this teammate or this teammate to throw a long flashbang. And nothing happened. So he just turned and charged. That round was Armata's for the taking. So many players were exposed, and I guess the unpredictability of it caught them. 9-2.
When you have a team like Area 51 that has a roster shakeup, those kinds of things can really be used to their advantage. I mean, they don't have, like a team profile right now, unless, you assume that they're going to go back to the same, kind of like composition and play style that they did in 1.6. But, different game, different time period, it doesn't seem likely. So because they don't exactly have a... Look at this push again! Oh, Reds does get the better of it that time, though.
Yes, he does. He'll drop one. That's Pauly. Then Steno probably back to reinforce, and he walks right into the CZ trap. That's a good start to this round. They've recovered effectively 2 weapons. Disciple's going to do his best to prevent anyone from picking it up, but being that... Are you throwing fire at your teammate? Oh, just at the steps underneath him. They'll flash it. They don't want him to come up underpass, and they're thinking that if they're underpass, you have to consider the wrap A. So A2C backs up to the back of bomb site A and tries to protect. A lot of noise being made in these tunnels, and it's allowing Chosen to at least telegraph or hear the telegraph. They're split across the map with 50 seconds left. They'll rejoin together and push in on A with numbers. It looks almost like a T round here. 2 CTs flash, Chosen and Disciple stacked up on top of each other. 30 seconds left, and they're flashed inside the site. 1 at CT, moved back into the site. 2 in the site. Now simultaneously dropped Armata, has picked up another round. I'm venturing a guess that you're going to agree with me here. It may have started too late.
Yeah, I do. I would have to say I agree with you. I mean, if they can win out, use this to win 3 more rounds, and a pistol round as a cherry on top, they'll, be in decent shape to keep it up. But that just seems a little unlikely with how well Area 51 is playing. I wouldn't be surprised if they scale back their offense right now, kind of bring it back to basics. That aggressive play worked once, didn't work the second time. I think Armata is kind of keyed into it, or at least know what to look for. And one thing that we didn't... Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but one thing that we didn't really mention was how... I guess good isn't really... Just like how... I don't know, just on point the Molly game, the Molotov throws have been from Area 51. I don't think they've gotten, more than 1 kill with it. So it's not like they've been, really doing tons of damage with it, but they've been really using it very well to zone out the Armata players, like throwing it at the bottom of the connector stairs.
You're absolutely
if they want
right.
to get in the ice site, they have to run through it, and if not, they're going to be hanging out in mid for a little longer. They've just been using it so well strategically.
It did save a player, because you throw that molly, it's not intended to stop anyone from running through it. It's intended to ward off people and then let that player who's already in connector check to see if it's a wrap on A, because if he's being engaged from the ramp or from the palace, he's going to get hit from both sides. It allows him at least a chance. This does not allow anyone a chance. A2Z drops Doom, Ramos will trade, and Reds and Pauly duke it out on the other side of the map. We got an easy spray down here. He checks for the crossfire. Very smart and savvy of him. Disciple's on top of this ticket booth. That's a one-way ticket getting killed. And also getting traded. Chosen may pick up this kill.
Ooh.
Samrock completely blew his opportunity. Flashbang dodge. The guy has a chance, but he's not going to peek because... Or he will. 10 seconds left. And a force bomb plant. Otherwise, there's no chance. Disciple has to charge the bomb planter. He'll be right at the ticket. They know exactly where he is. He made plenty of noise, and the round is lost. With 3 HP left, Disciple wraps it up. It's going to be 10-3.
I don't want to. I mean, I never like to put a round on a specific person because obviously there's a lot of factors that go into each round. But Samrock was in a great position to take down the player that was coming through the mid connector, and that really would have made the difference on the round. Had he picked up that kill, it would have been a fairly standard, easy 2v1 round. But unfortunately, I don't know if he was. It seemed like both of them were kind of caught off guard by each other. But it was the CT player, the Area 51 player, that was able to regain composure fast enough. And I guess with an M4A1 silenced, which is the gun that he was using, you don't need to do a lot of recoil correction. It pretty much shoots in a straight line. So he was able to fix that accuracy pretty quickly, lock up the kill, and eventually the one-on-one.
Yep, now we're going with the basics. Armata needs to win these last two. They're going to go with a 3-2 split onto A. No fanciness. They'll probably just walk into the site, which is smart. If Armata's been executing with flashbangs and smokes, walking into a site will often yield you a kill because players will just be accustomed or even conditioned into believing that they should be here first. There's the trade. Pauly hits the, I believe, a pallet shot onto Doom. That's not the Opera, though. That might have been. It's Samrock that has it. Gunfire everywhere and out of the smoke. A2Z tries to be a ninja, and the guy was just ready. So 2 versus 1, and Chosen is our last. He's in the smoke, and no one knows where he is. Oh my god! He controls his rifle just barely enough to skim the top of the firebox, pick up a headshot. He'll walk out flashbang thinking that the guy went into hiding. It's a gamble. Sure, it's a gamble.
Yes.
And it got him killed.
Flashbanged himself, too. You'd think if he threw a flash that he knew was going to blind him or something like that, he would have, kind of hopped back, waited for it to pop, and then, re-peek when he isn't, full white screen. But, I think that kind of thing happens. I don't think he exactly, or I think he thought the flash was going to bounce behind some cover, so he'd be able to see. Unfortunately,
he may have been thinking, like, I got a hot hand. I can spray 40 bullets out of a 20-bullet gun and still pick up a headshot. I can just walk out flashbang, too.
Blind. Yeah, no rules. Who cares?
No rules. Here's a set smoke. I think Samrock's going to throw that one right in front of the kitchen and flash right out. They saw that tracer. Chosen has to recoil and fall back into the side. He plays right by the boxes. He's calling for his teammates. He's smoked out, and I think he's going to crawl. Oh, my God. That was a bad idea. There's still one on the side. A2Z's waiting, and his ambush wasn't effective. 5 alive for the T's. Pauly's going to try to suicide out, jump to the old E-box, pick up the AK, and continue spraying. He won't pick up that kill as Romulus assists his teammate, and Disciple's about to get sprayed down. 10-5 is your halftime score. It was fast. It was furious. You saw some advanced Counter-Strike, and you saw some really, really not advanced Counter-Strike. Thank you for joining us on CEVO TV. I'm Cotton. My partner tonight is Later, and you are watching the start of Season 5, which you could be a part of if you sign up on CEVO.com tonight. Thank you to our partners at Game Servers and CSGO Lounge. It's a best of 1, so it's time to put up or shut up. Area 51, theoretically, should stumble on T-side.
I mean,
theoretically, big air quotes.
Right. Theoretically, in the sense that they might not be as organized as Armata, but the shoot versus think is the guy. You see his arm. Yeah,
yes,
he's gonna get that kill.
The guy needs to run. He's trying to reload. He got a little bit too greedy there, but at least he traded himself. Oh my lord! Reds picks up a rainbowed headshot in midair. Can pick up another one if he turns and picked up a triple, maybe even a quad. In the sight, Disciple gets gushed and cleaned up by Doom. So that's 10-6. You got 2 more, maybe, if you prevent a bomb plant.
Definitely. It seems like the USP, the silenced starter pistol for the CTs, might need a nerf alongside the CZ, as the USP has been kind of the deciding gun of both pistol rounds. We saw A2Z put it to work right in the first half, the first round of the game, and Reds following suit with a few slick shots of his own, picking up a 3K to match A2Z.
All terrorists in tow on the way to B tunnels, and they'll just walk in with their sidearms hoping to hit a shot. Look at their purchases. It's armor, so they're fully committing to this, knowing that, you know what, bomb plants are bust. We're getting in there. Our economy's going to take a hit, but we don't care.
They're just going to have to go for it. They're going to have to beat the guy, which is going to be a tough one. He has that MP7 ready for the spray down.
MP7, no justice served. In fact, I'm not really sure why that purchase happened. It happened the last time we casted Armata 2. I guess it gets you a lot of money, but it definitely gets you killed. 10-7.
Yeah, I think SMGs are currently kind of underrated in CS:GO. I mean, after winning a pistol round, I absolutely recommend going with a rifle over an SMG. I mean, just to stop that eco potential. But one SMG on a team, not the end of the world. It is cheaper. It might potentially allow him to buy an op later down the line, or just drop guns for his teammates. So if you can put it to work, I think an SMG is completely useful. And that round, not the best case for that. Not exactly a great example for that. But yeah, the rifles, the supporting rifles rather, proved to be good enough.
Reds has trouble with the first, then picks up the second on the burst. Chosen runs with bomb out, literally to say hi to the counter terrorists, and then Armata threw that round right into the trash heap. All of them were easy for Armata. Well, questionably easy if Reds didn't hit some amazing shots. Area 51.
Did they get a plan?
No. They went
They're
all
still going
three
for it, though.
egos.
Oh, no, this is the regular gun round. What am I saying? Sorry. I just had a massive stroke.
Our maths.
Yeah, I thought they just did an early round by,
Look,
but
wait,
no.
wait. Look at this. There's no mid control. There's 3 players pushing down the A ramp. They want to see if they can ambush somebody. They've at least gathered a bunch of information down the A ramp here. There's no presence in the site.
Do you think he heard that? Oh, he's pulling his gun out. I think he might have.
He does, and he's looking at the grates of the fence, so I think if anybody pushes through, they're sure to be guillotined, but I don't know that number 6, Reds 1, is going to be that courageous, that brash. Look, they've gained so much already. That's information on the field. That's something you can do, and effectively, in your mind, you've cut the map in half.
Yeah, it basically tells your entire team that they're going to be going mid or B, so it doesn't exactly rule out the A possibility altogether, but they're going to be funneled through pretty much one tight corridor. I guess they didn't really check A apartments, where A2Z is getting ready to put together some frag.
No, the 2 FAMAS wielding CTs are gunned down by higher caliber AK-47s, and then 2 replies, very quick, and a jumping headshot as Reds just barely settles his feet. A2Z gets dropped, and as Chosen comes to trade out his teammate, Samrock avenges and surprises. Paulie's the last one alive. He's on the catwalk, and I think he kind of figured out where the guy is. They've located him, and now he's surely dead. The number 3 is who we follow, and he's got to make some hard decisions. 15 seconds left.
For the guy, he was actually shooting at Paulie while Paulie was blind, so the silence M4, which is already pretty quiet, was not heard. But Paulie, just very luckily, will escape with his life and his AK. I don't think anyone's close enough to really hunt him.
So, at the halftime when I was doing our cue for sponsors and our thank yous and greetings, I was thinking, what's it gonna take for the comeback to happen? Is it gonna be a long shot? I don't even think I need to wait anymore. Comeback on.
Yeah, comeback is definitely happening right in front of our eyes. While shoot was greater than think for the CT side, it seems as though the think is really important for your T side. And Doom actually takes a bunch of damage right off the top, getting spammed through a wall.
You really fell in love with that line, man.
I like it. It's extremely like an oversimplification of what we're seeing, but it just boils the game down to like I don't know, the 2 most quintessential Counter-Strike styles.
Yeah, it's very true. 3 versus 3 on an eco round. Paulie getting shot in the back. Romulus from long distance over at the old E-Box, and Disciple wins a battle with a P250 versus the guy. Here's a bomb plant, but no guns available for the T's, so tough to hold on to if they both arrive at the same time. There's an M4A1 recovered, so the odds just a little bit better. Still, no armor. And we'll see the T's, 1 in the site, 1 in the B tunnels. There's 1 down. They have to check B tons right now. There's that kill, and an easy wrap-up. Comeback achieved, 10-10.
Yeah, the comeback has happened. At this point, I'm sure Armata is feeling really good. Their morale has to be high, having put together so many rounds in a row, and against some really good players and some really solid shooting. If they can keep it up, I guess obviously if they can keep it up, they're gonna win. That's just how Counter-Strike works and how, I don't know, general games work. But if they can continue to shut Area 51 down by gathering a bunch of information and using that to their advantage, I think they'll lock it up pretty easily.
I think it's a very much an unfair, sort of unfun I told you so, but Of course, Area 51 is not going to have a sophisticated offense. There's no chance. There's absolutely no chance. So they're just going to have to run down mid, smoke up all what they think they need to smoke up, and then they're just going to have to charge into bomb sites and shoot everybody. Chosen has killed the guy, and he ran away really fast. It's a death cam fake. Now he does a 180 after the death cam ends, and that has stalled, I think, just one rotate. Now the 7-man has come in all the way through. Pauly's already gotten the kill, and there's only one trade. Then two. Romulus may have just saved the round if he can just get one more while he fights. Never mind. Chosen drops him. 3 versus 1, and Reds now has to consider saving. He YOLO'd.
He just goes for it.
He straight YOLO'd. Can he economically afford that? Yeah, he can.
Yeah. You know, even if he can't, yeah, he can. But there's plenty of money to go around on our Armata's side. Interestingly enough, they aren't using a ton of the silenced imports, which are the cheaper ones. So, you know, the drops are going out. They will have plenty of money to gun up all of their teammates, but it is slightly more expensive than one would think. And Area 51 on the board for the first time this half, which is, you know, I didn't think I'd be saying this 20 minutes ago.
Well, certainly not. Area 51 put very, very useful information to work. That every other round, or every so many intervals, somebody pushes, and I think that's perfectly illustrated as I finish my sentence. Somebody pushed into the palace. It's either palace or B tunnels. You just wait there and you'll pick up an easy kill. Reds 1 should have been that easy kill. Armata does not respect Area 51's map control, so they're pushing out into the corners. They're pushing out right here, and right here. Area 51, if they figured that out a couple rounds ago, maybe this isn't even a conversation. Now Armata has to scale it back. They're playing a little too aggressive.
Oh, he's going to get boosted. Oh, no, he can't get the kill. That would have really opened up the round for Area 51, but Doom does a good job of staying diligent and watching the window, even though I'm not sure if he was expecting the window boost.
I cannot believe Samrock could not put together 2 and 2 as he looked at the window, saw a flashbang go in, still managed to get killed. The guy versus 2, and this may be the end for him. He still is fighting, but he's about to get mollied. And he's out in the open. 2 rounds for Area 51 as they start to pick up a little bit of steam.
Yeah, they did a good job of, in that 2-on-1, pretty much maximizing their odds of picking it up by double peeking the guy, you know, and not lining up. They were separated enough where they could put 2 guns on one and pretty much give him no chance of locking them both down, instead of kind of putting themselves in a position where the guy would have 2 1-on-1s, because the guy is, you know, regardless of how he's doing in this game, he's not exactly positive in the kill-death department, is one of the more talented, you know, players and you know, land-proven players in the server right now. So to not give him any opportunities is extremely smart. And Area 51 looking for a very quick and aggressive A take right now as they take down Reds and enter the site.
Here's the push behind 3 Ts, and Disciple has seen all of them, so as they close in, they have to know that T-Ramp is going to have a lot of CTs. So they switch sides, the Ts move towards CT to control, and it's going to be tough. They're at max distance fighting with CZs. It doesn't matter. CZs are amazing. Samrock hits it. AK shots for the Cubby. No kills. Well, no armor is very hard to control after you get aim punched.
Right, Doom pushing to his death will get taken down by Pauly. So now the score 13-10 in favor of Area 51. They've started to kind of find their grasp on this half. They're starting to find their range and zone off Armata effectively with smokes and using their takes well to, you know, kind of I guess what I'm trying to say, they're trying to really like reinforce their advantages.
Let me point one thing out here. There are very few set smokes for Area 51. Very few. A couple that land in B, maybe a couple for Cat and the connector, but I see that Area 51 doesn't have a mid smoke to throw from spawn, and if they just had an Opera, if Armata had a specialist Opera like most teams do, they could have picked up so many easy mid kills. And they had the money to a couple rounds ago, so
they had Doom picking for a while. It was just Area 51 was making themselves really hard to hit. You know, they would peek him a little bit or very briefly, find out where he is, give him a tough, like, you know, very narrow shot to hit. And as soon as he shot and revealed where he was, they wouldn't repeat that same angle or try to spam him from a different angle and basically, you know, nullify the danger that is an op, especially a good op.
Well, perhaps the multiplicity you're referring to is exactly what caught them. There's the ambush from Doom, and if he moves forward, he's going to move into the waiting arms of Morty, so he has to wait. 3 versus 4, and Disciple waits. Pauly gets dropped, and the guy's about to be sprayed down. If he goes into the window right now, follow him. And the exchange is won by Disciple. 2 versus 1, 1 versus 1. It's Samrock versus Disciple, and so many times in this series, we've seen Armata fighting Area 51 one-on-one, and that coin toss always lands on the Area 51 face.
Right, seemingly always. I think the guy also picked up a one-on-one for Armata, but, you know, we've seen, what, like 6, maybe 7 one-on-ones? I mean, I guess I might be shooting a little high. I might be in the 4 to 5 range, but only one of them stands out of my mind as an Armata win. And, you know, like I said before, is a 1v1 is not exactly a coin toss. It is like a, you know, a binary, like 1 or 0, like one team will win, one team will lose. But by putting together your talents and you're using your brain effectively to position yourself, you can really increase your odds of winning a one-on-one.
Using your brain effectively.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a dumb thing to say, but, you know, the brain is the most valuable resource that these players have.
Romulus, far, far too greedy, gets dropped, and that will probably award Area 51 the tie point. 1-on-1 in that battle, and this battle must be won. Samrock has to do it. Doom will combine 3 versus 2, and maybe they can salvage what was already lost before. The over-aggressive nature of Armata seems to have rewarded them this time, but A2Z is still alive, and the MVP of the first half is alive and fighting on the balcony, but not for long. 14-11.
Armata's really aggressive CT play style is a really high risk, high reward. We've seen it pay off in a huge way when they sent 3 players down the A ramp stairs to basically figure out that there were no T's going A. And, you know, in that situation, it was so effective. They knew that they had basically half the map cut off and allowed them to win the round. But, you know, when they push 2 players into a certain situation and then they just get caught off guard and it's an easy spray down 2K, that's basically throwing away the round.
Credit to Area 51, they sort of know that they don't have exactly the most sophisticated offense, so let's make this as messy as possible. Let's throw the set smokes we know and then just start gunning everything down, because playing slow is just going to get in our way. So let's get out this door. Let's start shooting. Chosen's already part of that party. He's already at the Tetris, and they see somebody at the ticket, though they did team flash, I think. Red sees them in the site, calls for the team. Romulus is on top of the E-box, and he may engage, but he is smoked out, so we'll have to wait a couple seconds. Oh my lord. That was a dirty shot. A2Z wants to reply, and there's the trade. Good controlled burst for 4. 3 versus 3. The guy, Doom, and Samrock versus Disciple, Pauly, and A2Z. Battle's being won by the CTs, and the momentum begins to shift. That was a terrible molly. That was literally the worst molly.
Yeah, so they actually kind of, in a weird way, zoned themselves out of that area. The bomb, although I guess they did kind of molly off the bomb in a way, pretty much unintentionally, but, you know, silver lining to everything.
Okay, 20 seconds left. I'm going to use your word, presupposing that A2Z does not clutch. It's 14-12. Here's the economic outlook. There's another eco round to be had. Something to be said.
For it. I love this play. This is, I mean, he could very easily just save and... okay. Well,
or not.
If you're going to do that, then, you know, maybe not so much worth your time. But had he picked up that first kill, he at least could have made it interesting. Area 51, their economy is kind of all over the place. Pauly has $5,100, but his next closest teammates only have $2,500. So they are going to be saving this round. Armata's going to be able to, you know, bring it within 1 unless they get really sloppy, or Area 51 goes absolutely crazy with their P2. No CZs! They're all P250.
And they didn't see the player push into the lower B tunnel. Samrock's already down. The first person to mid never saw him. This is a clear-cut ambush. All he needs to do is pick up some easy kills. There's 1, there's 2, and not a second. If he goes diving for that AK, don't do it, Romulus. You got greedy last round, and it got you killed. They've got the guy stepping out to mid to assist, and it gets cleaned up nicely with a bow tie. Let me say this. We did the math. We knew Area 51 would be on the Nico, and we knew eventually after that round it had to be 14-13. This round is pretty much the round that determines the game, because the economies don't support either teams after this.
Definitely. They're both kind of on the back foot. The guy only has $600 despite the fact that they won that last round. Two of his teammates on Armata, Doom and Romulus, do have 52-50. So I think Armata will be able to force buy, or maybe not even so much force, just kind of buy the next round if they lose this round. But if they lose that round, Armata's going to have or Area 51's going to have that 15th round locked up, and that's a huge moral victory.
Romulus is stuck in the corner. He's surely about to be naded, and the nade bounces off the wall. Disciple couldn't control a basic frag grenade throw. Paulie has to come up and clean it up, so I guess, all in all, it works out all right. I don't know that Steno knows that there's somebody right behind him. Steno, there's somebody right behind you. Pulls out his AK, almost loses that battle, controls it after a 5 burst, and the guy is a huge ninja. Bomb dropped. He knows that there's somebody at the old E-box. Reds jumps out and picks up the kill through the smoke. 2 versus 2, now 2 versus 1. It's Reds 1. He has leverage. He has the bomb. Paulie's the last, and he's gonna pick up that kill. Look at the flank. 15-13. Area 51 is on to the game point.
It doesn't really show so much through Reds' scoreline. He is only against Area 51, 17 and 19. So, I mean, that's not really like a great, that's not like a standout scoreline, but I feel like in terms of hitting impact frags, I feel like his name is always being mentioned in terms of getting the important frags, supporting his teammates really effectively, and whether or not. Oh no! Oh, another push! Another push!
Does anybody know?
Who's that last guy? A2Z might catch him right now, but he has his knife out. It's a nice looking karambit, but it's
the
not
bomb gets dropped and the spray down. Samrock can't control his M4 while blind, but he still picks up the kill. Disciple stuck in the smoke. The guy is right in front of him in the spray down. He picks up 1 kill, turns, tries to find the flanker, and Reds is already here to support. This round is almost surely Armata's. 15-14 is going to be your scoreline unless Paulie does the quad clutch unthinkable.
Well, I mean, it'll end the game and subsequently end the cast anyway, but I'm done for the night if Paulie wins this.
We're going to go nuts.
It just seems a little unlikely. He does see a CT up there, I think. I wonder, sometimes it's kind of tricky with the X-ray where it looks like you see
it's a hallway. If he gets a quad out of this, like
if he just gets like a 4K spray down right now, oh my god. Will
you scream?
Yeah, I mean, there would be at least some screaming.
What was that delay about? Why? Well, he's got 3 HP, so that one's all but wrapped up. 15-14, and instead of an easy wrap-up where everybody is sort of piling on the hatred for one team or another, we may be going to overtime. Look at this eco round.
Yeah, they're making it pretty interesting, or Armata is, rather. They're going to have all guns this round. Area 51, not 55, kind of all over the place. A Galil on A2Z, pistols on the rest of his teammates. Why they're going straight to B where none of the Armata players are?
They're pushing through mid, so as long as nobody gets 1 dig, they'll have something still.
Paulie knows, though.
I think they're going to get flanked from mid. Steno's out in the lead. Doom's coming back from the underpass and makes it back safely into the connector. But if anybody gets clipped from behind, they're going to get a rude awakening. It looks like Area 51 didn't capitalize.
This round.
Yeah, there was a huge missed opportunity. But of course, unless you're wall hacking, how do you know that?
Easy double kill.
Easy.
But until that smoke went off.
Alas, 5 alive for both teams. A couple of wounded, Doom and Paulie, and the first blood of the round is the guys. He'll check mid, and the Chosen wants to get a jumping CZ kill. Or he'll just be gifted one. And that flashbang just saved his teammate. Disciples down, 2 down for Area 51, and Armata can smell it. They are so close.
They're very close. Steno. Wow, these flanks from Area 51 are ridiculous. Knife him, Steno. Do it. Oh, man.
Gun recovered. The guy will see him in the sight, will get in a gunfight, win the gunfight, then transfer his spray, then pick up maybe a third, and maybe still be Doom. That'll clean that up. 15-15 is your second half score. You're watching CEVO TV, and instead of that predictable outcome, we're going to overtime. You're watching us, Cotton, Later, and Armata, and Area 51. This lived up to its billing. This group, I wouldn't call this the group of death, and I am drawing from some World Cup inspirations, but I was really, really impressed at how this one was put together, and I'm saying that anybody that comes out of this group alive has a great shot of making it.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, I mean, obviously there is going to be a loser in this game. Someone has to lose. You can't end in a tie. It's not soccer. But both teams have proven that they are worthy competitors and that they're about even strength. I think we did a really good job in terms of inviting teams to match the quality of teams that didn't quite make it in playoffs. This is an awesome matchup.
This is awesome. 1 kill already on the board. Pauly and Doom already gone. And we've got a very, very spread passive default looking for Area 51 as they try to figure out where the pressure points are, where they can get an isolated pick. Know that no player, really zero players have a support player near them. So they're waiting to catch people coming toward them. If they're trying to get an ISO pick looking, it's going to happen at B, as Chosen is now joined by Disciple.
Yeah, the guy is a scary player, though. That's not an easy ISO pick, especially when he's staying as mobile as he is, staying hard to hit, jumping around, trying to see for information, or see and gather information. I think he'll see 2 terrorists, and here comes the rotate. The 7 and the 0 man are coming out. They're going to be able to sneak the bomb right into A if they play their cards right.
1-1 on the trade, I think. Samrock just saw the jump down. He did plenty of damage to Disciple, and I don't think he can win that battle. A2Z drops another on the other side of the map. It's 2 versus 2. The bomb is at A. It is planted, and there is a player coming out of jungle. Romulus has made it out, and he's on top of the E-box. Steno is severely wounded. Here's the flank. There's the cleanup. 1 versus 2, and it's A2Z. Hero of the first half. Can he be the hero of overtime? Bomb ticks. You know one's at E-box, and one is coming from the ticket. No spray transfer. That defuse will be good. It's going to be 16-15 in Armata for the first time in this entire game. Takes the lead.
Taking the lead. Yeah, wow. I mean, we didn't exactly call it in terms of the score line. I think we both said something to the tune of 16-13. But really, this was pretty much exactly what we thought was going to happen. Just a ridiculously close back and forth 50-50 game. And, the original odds for the game were 65-35. And that just struck me as crazy. And
both teams are actually confused as to what the MR settings are. I'll tell you right now, it's first to 4, halves of 3. So you play through, finish up 3, move to the side, and if you win a total of 4, you've won it.
Yeah, the way it should be. That's the American way. No, I don't know. I'm just saying that.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Note the 145 round timers. CEVO stepping up their modern day game.
Yeah, we always used to have to wait an extra 15 seconds while people were saving. Now it's just all streamlined.
I would like to get a statistical metric count of how many awesome plays we've had within those 15 seconds that other leagues don't have. There's the boost through the window, and Doom was flashed. There's the trade. Luckily, Amaru was in the window ready to support his teammate, and you got somebody waiting at that headshot angle. Reds wins that battle, surprisingly, 3 versus 2, but 2 CTs wounded. Disciple on the trade, and then a double, Reds versus 2. It's going to be 16-16, I'm telling you. So Reds has a chance. If he makes it there early, the other T is on the other side of the map. The bomb planter gets away with his dropped package. He saw him. He saw him at the arch, just barely.
Yeah, with 15 HP, it just seems pretty unlikely for Reds. But if he can just get this frag really quick and then just stick the defuse.
And no, he's coming from the market. A2Z has to know he's in the site. It's an easy kill for him. Though he made a little bit of noise with that leap, it'll be 16-16 like we called.
Ooh, Reds had $3,900 in the bank. I don't know how many kills he got, so, I mean, he had at least $3,000 at the start of that round. Didn't have a kit. And, ultimately it didn't really matter. He didn't have a defuse that lasted for more than 5 seconds. But how do you not have a kit? That's just so crucial. I mean, even this round, Doom doesn't have a kit. But, he's justified. He only has $50 in the bank.
All T's in tow to split at B. 2 to control mid. 3 into the B tunnels, and that spam actually connects. Steno and A2Z just taking a few shots.
Oh, this push, so big. I bet you the 3 and 2 people, Pauly and Disciple, hear that right now, though. Yeah, they do. They're looking for the frags. They're hungry for them.
Look at this. Their sixth sense has paid off. They realize we made a ton of noise. If anybody's at mid, they heard us running through that wall, so we can't push any further. They've gathered tons of information, and now they can over-rotate should they choose toward A. Excuse me, toward B. No execute. The bomb is still waiting in B tunnels, so decisions to be made. Now it's a mind game within mind games. Did they hear us? Did we hear them? Are they moving back because they heard us, or are they staying pat and they're going to execute on B? There's so much to be considered, and Pauly stops considering. Steno jumps into action, and Pauly picks up a double. This round is going to Area 51 very, very quickly.
Unfortunately, Steno's play kind of got covered up by Paulie's 2K, or at least on the auto director. But that was another round where Area 51 has been able to get themselves in positions where Armada's just not ready, just weird flanks and catching players off guard. And while their setups aren't exactly complex, they've been really using them to their advantage to go wherever they want on the map.
Here's a chance, a golden opportunity lost. Chosen gets tagged and makes sure that he lives. He'll spray down Samrock in the back. Then that CT spawn player picks it up. It's the guy versus everybody, but the bomb now ticks, and surely he can't do this, not without a miracle. There's literally so much standing in his path. He runs through the fire, still nothing. The half ends. It ended 17-16.
Still, literally as close as it could possibly be. This is the most back and forth game that we've had in a long time, and Area 51 put up a really solid CT showing in their CT side of that. Do you think they have what it takes to shut down Armata right now?
Absolutely, absolutely. Their terrorist side is their hurdle. Their CT side was clinical.
Okay then, bold claim. You think Area 51 is going to lock it up right now? I'm inclined to agree with you based on how they're playing and how their CT was the first half, but Armata has the strats, and they have the playbook, a deep playbook, clearly, as we saw, like 4 or 5 rounds straight where each round had a different strat from them. So, for the sake of excitement, hopefully they do something crazy.
I kind of wanted to see the pistol round strat again. There's a support player, Romulus, making sure that his teammate checking the ladder wasn't sprayed down. They've killed the first, and still inside the site is Chosen, who can't connect the shot. He's dropped, and then Paulie finds a trade. 3 versus 3, and Reds is still flanking, though, making a lot of noise. Easy shot for him. He checks the market. Nobody there. 2 versus 3, and they'll have to get these sites sealed off very quickly with smokes. A2Z and Steno at full HP, and Reds could be just dropped with a feather.
Yes, Steno and A2Z really need a pick right now to open up the retake. I mean, they're going to need 3 grand total, but 1 will set the whole thing in motion. The guy taking down Steno, and Reds following up with a kill on A2Z. So, no such luck on the retake there. 17-17 is the score.
It's all tied up, and no one is surprised. Not a soul.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, kind of. I thought Area 51 would be able to, play that lockdown defense and not really get or allow Armata to get into the site. But they had their smokes and their flashes down pat. They earned their way into the site with their strategical setup. So more power to Armata. They're going to keep it up and keep the pressure up more specifically on the B-bomb site.
Slow B play this time. Armata ditching the very exotic playbook that they showed in the first couple of rounds of the match for something a little bit simpler. Smokes over. We'll show you them right now. The smokes are in, and they've sealed off this. Here comes the action. Chosen picks up where he failed that last time, and he may pick up a double. He does, still reloading. Not a whole lot of rounds inside of that magazine. There's the trade. Reds almost moved his spray over. 2 versus 3 in the action, just so fast, it's barely watchable. 1 in the chair, or the jail, or the bench, whatever you like to call it. 2 versus 2, and both CTs are in the market. ATZ flicks. He drops the guy. Then maybe picks up Doom. 18-17, Area 51 retakes the lead.
While I'm not even sure if he intentionally did it, that round was really, that offense by Armata was really shut down by Chosen, kind of accidentally picking up a frag on the players that were coming at him in the upper B apartments. He jumped on one of the barrels by the van, looking to, spray down the first 2 players that were in front of him. Didn't kill the first guy, but killed the second guy, and that really opened. That was that extra frag that they needed to make the hold happen. So, while it wasn't exactly on purpose and it kind of came from his air ball on the first player, it resulted in a round win for them.
Could this be the swan song for Armata? They'll set up for one more set piece, take onto A, smokes over, flashes over, and then a huge fracas. A violent melee that starts with an op pick. A2Z is gone. The stalwart A defender is down, and everybody's in bomb site A. They'll smoke out all the choke points with the exception of the connector, and Steno's in the site. They know, but they can't kill him. Reds is starting to hunt him. He's in CT. He transfers his spray for maybe just 1. 3 versus 2, and Armata's not quite done yet. Not quite done yet. And the guy makes a very, very dangerous peek. They almost picked up Doom. 1 versus 2. Disciple to win it all, or send this maybe into double overtime.
I'm inclined to believe double overtime, and I'm glad that
he's gonna stick this. He can't find the bomb. He'll go for the spray, and up above him is a 1CZ click. 18-18. Good God Almighty!
I mean, I thought Area 5 was gonna, or Area 51 was gonna have what it takes to bring it up. They had such a great CT side, but it's the matchup. They're just so equally matched that it's really gonna come down to which team slips up first. I think, or in the case of that overtime, it was the case of Doom stepping up and finally putting that off to use, like you called for earlier.
Could be. We would love to see it. I believe, if I do my math correctly, 19, 20, 21 is the safe line here, and the winning point would be 22. So keep that in mind if you're keeping an eye on the scoreboards. For Armata's offense, they'll move to control mid and then eventually wrap toward A. As you can see, the bomb is sitting at the back of the ramp, and they've mostly controlled mid purely by being ignoring the window. There's nobody in this game has tried to control it. Reds picks up a jumping kill and a double. A2Z peeks him trying to trade and fails 2 versus 2. We've seen this story before. It was last round.
Definitely. Now it's down to a 2-on-2. Reds,
the flank.
Really?
He knew! Reds with the triple! And maybe a quad. He's still behind those missile tubes in the site, throws a deep nade, picks up just 10 damage onto Chosen, but at least his location is now compromised. With the bomb, he can't plant, but he can send a flank. And Chosen has to be thinking about it. He has to be thinking about it.
Definitely, especially since it's been so long since he's heard anything from the second player. If he's going to think about it, he should have thought about it about 5 seconds ago and spun as Doom just kind of nonchalantly walks up and shoots him in the back/side of the head. Armata once again regaining the lead for the second time this game.
Area 51 feels just a bit of pressure. You can see that there are, for the first time in a long time, economic implications in an overtime. 200, 500, 1050, not looking great. B control now with a single bomb carry, a bomb carry and a support player into the B tunnels, 3 to control mid and possibly to run cat. Armata has really moved to the basics. They said, you know what, our beautifully crafted pistol round didn't do anything for us. Why don't we just stick to what we do? 3-2 split. They've almost made it through. Up in their faces is a single defender on the balcony, and there's a jump kill. Reds picked up a jumping kill. I don't even...
It was pretty close range, to be fair, but yeah, that is just...
Right in the old E-box, the guy sees him. Paulie's ready. He's going to jump on him. There's one, a double waiting for him. He gets dodged and still picks up the kill. Paulie's going to stick that defuse after picking up this kill with a nade, a triple. The infiltrator. Paulie wins it and is surely the MVP of the round.
Oh, yeah, that was a super pretty 3K. With that, man, that follow-up nade was really the prettiest. I mean, the first 2 shots were a little more on the standard side, but through smoke, using the communication of his teammates really well, or I'm not even sure if he saw that player at any point, just trusted his teammates through that nade, got the kill, and the defuse to boot. Really great round from Paulie. 19-19 is the scoreline. Just literally as close as close and as back and forth. I think we've just traded the past 4 rounds back forth.
Who knows anything about this outcome anymore? The last round of the half, as you called it, there is a single op on the field for the first time in a long time. It's Doom, and Doom is our number 9 who is moving to the Palace. He'll surely try to pick jungle.
Right, he made it work in the last round of the last overtime. So if he can use it effectively again from that apartments area, which, yeah, that is where he is, and he is already scoped in before he's even, in a position to peek. He's ready to go, and that op really made the difference last time. Let's see if it can make the difference this time.
3-2-A split. Yeah, they've been smoked, and I think Armata began executing a little too early. Smokes were thrown, and they'll have to run out. They've stacked the site. Area 51 is ready for them, but they are flashbang. Check the sandwich, guy! He looked and then was sandwiched. There's one, but surely no more. Cannot be anymore. Disciple didn't have his gun ready, or at least had fog in his eyes. 2 versus 2. And I think we've read this book before. Last round, the round before, Chosen versus 2. He knows one's up on the balcony. He knows one's in sandwich. And I think you could say he might have an advantage right now.
Yes, especially since the bomb is trapped in the sandwich, but no, he makes a slightly more aggressive play than I would have recommended in Doom. Just, putting that off to work. A very standard off shot, shooting a running CT. That's it. That's just standard off play right there. And that op made the difference in 2 super crucial overtime rounds. Armata still holding on to the lead as Area 55 is going on to their weaker side, or what was actually both teams' weaker side.
Remember, it's the first to reach 22. And then that tie point would be 21. Armata's 1 away from at least sighing in relief, and 2 away from wrapping it up. After starting very slowly, they've now engineered something that we could call thrilling. Really thrilling. That nade is so well timed. The nade blew his nade away. What? The
I didn't
nade
get to see
blew
that
his
from
nade
your
away,
perspective.
and then Area 51 picks up the kill. Doom had the right idea, but literally physics denied him his kill. There's the
That's
chance.
crazy.
The guy
I'm
picks
still
up
not
1
exactly-
and then a double. Armata really wants this. Can you smell it? Steno won't have any of it. 2 versus 3, and he's got enough HP to make this work. Right above you with the cat, and it could be 2 versus... It suddenly turns into 2 versus 1. Now 1 versus 1. A2Z versus the guy who is wounded. That bomb is in a chasm between the both of them, and A2Z has to go grab it. Will the guy challenge? 45 seconds. He'll sit on this peak and then pick up the bomb.
A2Z still on cat. You see him? Oh!
I cannot believe it. I cannot believe the timing. 21 and Armata sits on the game point.
This is it. This is their chance to lock it up. They've proven themselves worthy thus far. I'll grant them permission to win this game now. There you go, Armata. You have my permission. You have my
No,
go
you've
ahead.
just doomed them.
Yeah, oh, sorry, Caster's curse. They're screwed now. Area 51, 25-23, final score or whatever.
Oh, push into the underpass that we weren't even prepared for. The leak down and the trades back and forth. The T's win that one. Area 51 sighs a huge, burdened, wheezing sigh. They are wounded, but they're not quite dead, and they have a 2-man advantage after that kill from the left side of Cat all the way onto the catwalk. Here's the flank. A2Z picks up an easy one, maybe, after 5 bullets.
He's a little hard on himself.
And the nerves are getting to everyone now. Romulus versus everyone. 1 on top of the cat becomes a 1-tap after a 3 burst. Area 51 Gaming's not going away, not just yet.
Now I feel genuinely bad that I gave Armata the ultimate jinx. Because really, it's just been such a great game out of both of these teams. Man, that round before, that was just the craziest round. First, it was like, all right, Armata's got this locked up. They're going to win the game. And then Area 51's like, nah, chill. We're just going to pick up 3 crazy frags out of nowhere. And then the guy with 15 HP could have been spat on, was able to pick up the last kill on a retreating terrorist. This game has just been crazy.
Samrock wants to make the play. He's got a smoke in front of him, and he chooses to back off just slightly. 21-20. Can Armata grasp victory, summon the Medal of Champions to get themselves over this hurdle? Or will we see a triple overtime for the first time in Season 5? 5 alive for both teams, and nobody wants to make a mistake. But now it's not about making mistakes, it's about making plays. Area 51 wants triple overtime. They want it so bad. Disciple sits on the rotate, and he looks the wrong way. Still in the ladder room, picks up the kill, turns around, and we're going to triple overtime. 21-21. You're still watching CEVO TV. I'm Cotton. My partner is later. Our minds are blown.
I don't even know what to say anymore. Like, my job is to, throw in that super, tight, in-depth analysis, but at this point, it's like, who's gonna frag who? Like this. Oh, God, it's just awesome. Neither of these teams have really deviated from their original strategies. Area 51 Gaming's strategy being kind of set themselves up to frag and force themselves, good... Oh my God, this mid-push.
No! Steno needs to control his AK spray. His teammate will help him. A TK will do it for him. Area 51 will regain the lead if they win this round. Remember, the magic number is 25. 24 will be your tie point.
Does that count as a 3K for Steno?
No.
I'll allow it. Okay, maybe not.
Maybe. Bomb is still trailing back. Area 51 now fully respects Armata's game. They're realizing that every play we make, we get punished. So we have to really be on our toes, on our P's and Q's. And Steno is on his P's and Q's. Romulus gets spotted. He jumps into the market. He tries to challenge an AK wielder, but surely nothing comes of this. 3 versus 1 is the most unlikely scenario when you're already discovered.
Right, the bomb's also going down in the exact opposite location of where he has chosen, ready to catch Ramos as he was kind of spinning his way through smoke. Will take him down.
It's like
what an awesome game.
Each and every round is like a challenge of the other team's masculinity. We're going to push you. Can you figure it out? Can you stop us? The conventional play has been thrown out the window.
Absolutely, and it's interesting to see that Area 51 has pretty much completely abandoned the op play altogether. We saw A2Z use an op like maybe one round, like maybe two rounds. I know I definitely saw it in his hands at one point, but they don't really have any interest in using the op. The Doom, on the other hand, absolutely does. He's hit down to 35, but still has the big scope green in his hands.
There's the ambush. Armata claims chosen. Like I said, every round, it's either the Tons or it's the Palace, but you have to be certain which one it is. Reds is actually close enough. He'll be pop flash in by his team. He'll check, and nobody will be there. But you know, because you have a mini-map, that somebody was hiding inside. All around the map, no players located, and the guy finds Disciple hiding in smoke. Armata wants to tie it up. We want them to tie it up. You want them to tie it up. And Pauly does not want any of that. Really? You jumped up and risked it all, Romulus. You've taken so many risks this game, and that's the one that may award you the MVP of the round. A2Z's the last one alive, and he is in T-spawn without a plan, without a hope, really, because the bomb is in range of an Opper. If Doom
Right,
could
I don't
just...
think they know the bomb is down.
Look at this. You're right.
Yeah,
the lip of the catwalk is protecting vision of the bomb.
Right, he's going to be cycling the bomb all the way around back towards A, swinging that really cool-looking karambit around. It's basically he's going to be trying to force a one-on-one with Reds, and quickly throwing the smoke just shy or just above 15 seconds on the clock, so he's really running out of time. He's got to put together a kill now and get the bomb planted. Did 3 seconds for a bomb plant?
He saw the ticket player. Yeah, he saw him, and with 7 seconds left, he cannot plant. He gets off. It's 22-22, all tied up. I saw the plan. A2Z, he's probably doing the math. There's three people alive. You have to control mid, you have to look at B, and you have to look at A, so they're probably going to be split up in silos 1-1-1. If I smoke off and get there fast, I have a chance. But, of course...
wasn't fast enough. He needed an extra 20 seconds on the clock to really have a chance at that play, and even still, even with an extra 20 seconds, he would need some really awesome handiwork to put it together.
Split A will be the call for the round with one controller at the top of mid to eventually become a lurk if he survives long enough. And A-Take will be on the menu. They'll come out of the ramp, look for Reds. He gets traded. A2Z for himself. 4 alive for both teams. And the bomb plant now, even with T's flashed as they are. Romulus thinking, do I make that play? Can I make that play? And I think Stena will do everything in his power to dissuade him of any sort of notion. Chosen in the sandwich is ambushed. Then the guy trying to pick up a jumping M4A1 kill won't do it. 2 left alive, both at the ramp. They've spotted both. And they have to figure that Pauly is still alive. He jumps out and is sprayed down. Armata picks up the 23rd. Remember, the magic number, 25.
Game is still literally as close as it could be. That play right there with Pauly and I lost track of who the other terrorist was who was on the A ramp. Doubling up there can sometimes be very effective if the other team only thinks there's one. They'll kill a player there and then instantly shift their sights elsewhere, thinking that the other player is in a different location. But unfortunately, they both had to shoot their guns at one point to stop the onslaught of CTs. So they gave up both of their positions, and they were both shown to be in that exact position. That play did not pan out for them that time. I like where their head was at. A2Z with an AWP this round, finally exciting. Hopefully he can do something with it.
Let me ask you just this very, very simple question. This can't be tied up again. This can't be tied up again, can it? Disciple, 2 for 1.
I think it can.
3 alive for the T's. They'll push into bomb site B. The number 5 man Chosen, who's had a hard time hitting that jump shot from the platform, loses once again. It's 3 versus 3. And if they just smoke up that doorway to them, oh, don't peek him. Don't do that. That's a very, very high health risk. Don't, we've learned that from eating fast food in the States. Don't do that.
Yeah, not worth it. That's a heart attack.
2 versus 2. And in the kitchen, A2Z quickscopes. Romulus was looking the wrong way, even though he had some idea. 2 versus 1. Reds to save the team or lose it all. He's in the site. He's waiting for you. A2Z lurks and then picks up the piercing kill. Will defuse. So, question answered, it can be tied up. 23-23.
I mean, at this point, I don't even know what one team has to do over the other team. It's really just going to be about which team can, just kind of contain themselves, keep their composure, and not make, a bunch of really bad mistakes. Doom, another AWP in his hands, back-to-back AWPs with only 10K start money. So he's very financially invested in this round. His teammates around him do have some more money, so I think Even if they lose this round, they will be able to front him a gun. But their economy is not necessarily in great shape. Whereas Area 51 can lose a round and still, comfortably buy again. A2Z still rocking that off, but has a lot more in the bank than Doom.
Both teams share an equal opportunity to seize the tie point this round, and I'm sure it's palpable. It's right on their brows, on their lips, whatever saying you'd like to use. It's so close, but being nervous.
Pauly taking a book or taking a page out of the book of Armata. Pushing through. This is going to be a sick flank if he just keeps walking it. At the very least, he's gathered tons of information.
He absolutely cannot make a mistake.
No.
If he makes one wrong step, don't shoot, don't shoot, don't shoot.
Yeah.
We're not rooting for anyone, but this is amazing. Pauly on the flank. He's got none. He finally picks up one. Steno, then Pauly joins, and then it's just Samrock. Samrock versus 3. Tie point is within reach for Area 51, and we have one man fighting for his life. Flashes everywhere, and he moves out of his space. At least he's not at the firebox.
Right. Samrock is gonna have a tough time this round. He's gonna be smoking off CT, which I think is a smart play, but really it's going to be unavoidable. At a certain point, he's going to have to peek into multiple guns. With only 20 seconds left on the clock, the CTs are going to start converging any second, and Disciple steps out and kills an unsuspecting Samrock. So Area 51 has regained the lead, is now 1 round away from winning, and Armata's not broke, but certainly isn't rich. Doom might not have a gun this round. Yeah, he only has the CZ. None of his teammates have enough money to drop anything for him. Wow, what a crazy game. Oh man, what a crazy game.
Could sorrow and heartbreak be all that's left on the table for Armata this round? It's almost over. It's so close to being over. Area 51 knows it. Most poignantly, Armata knows it.
Watching that A2Z shot?
Yeah, it zipped right past his face.
Oh, so close.
Pauly's now smoked out. They'll go to Fast Cat, try to move everyone toward bomb site B. They've shown this strat before. A2Z slides out and doesn't let the guy move up the stairs. Then turns around, finds the Palace kill. The trades are nowhere to be found. All the Armata players weak or at least wounded. They must make perfect plays. Bomb is out in open space at A, and suddenly the playing field is Doom hits the shot. He drops Pauly in the window. 2 versus 2. Appropriate that this may end 2 versus 2. Steno, Chosen, Romulus, who could use some redemption after making so many aggressive plays and coming up small.
Chosen and Doom squaring off in CT spawn,
and Doom wins it! Steno versus 2. 35 seconds left on the clock, and they'll have to joint take. It'll be 2 firing windows.
You're in the middle of nowhere. Okay,
well,
now he's good.
It'll be 2 firing windows. He must hide, and he must make this play. Misses the shot and sees the other. At least picks up the kill. Now is wounded. It's 5 HP versus 53. Doom to save his team. Oh my god, we're going to another overtime. Quadruple overtime. I'm about to run out of numbers. I don't even know how to go above 5.
I'm about to run to the bathroom. This game is absolutely crazy. This is the first... Is this the first OT4 we've had? The other really long game that I also actually had the pleasure of casting that stands out in my mind was regular season iBuyPower versus Complexity. That went super deep into the overtimes. Not sure if it went 4, though.
This may be the longest one in CEVO TV's young history.
Yeah, they've played what? That's 48 grand total rounds. That's like 3 games of Counter-Strike worth, on or a few or more than a few not so close games. This is out of control at this point. Regardless of whether all the people in chat out there, whether you win your bet or not, you have to admit you got your money's worth.
You absolutely did. If you are not sold on this being the most entertaining thing on Twitch tonight, you are absolutely delirious.
Oh, God, this is just too much. My heart can't take this anymore.
Again, you're watching CEVO TV. I'm Cotton. My partner is Later. I'm hoping that you guys are signed up and ready for Season 5. And if this is not a primer, a huge bugle call, a horn to tell you to sign up, I don't know what is, because this is so much fun.
Yeah, we can't make better games than this. This just kind of, happened by chance.
Look at Disciple. He's past the smoke, and he's dropped Romulus, but he doesn't have enough ammo to continue his spray, so he'll have to drop back out and fall back to B. The execute is on. They'll press 2 and 2 on the catwalk. Stano's 2. Oh my god! Steno from A hits a shot through the smoke, then Disciple, and another. Armata finally stops the bleeding, stops the rot, if you'd like to go with Tosspot's saying. Then it's the guy's time to shine. He picks up one, but does get dinked. He almost had a headshot through that smoke.
He hit that shot.
10 seconds left. Surely he can't win. No, he cannot do this. Just wait out the clock, A2Z.
Hey, don't peek him. Okay, there you go. No time on the clock. He's going to have to plant, and we'll get taken down very quickly by A2Z. Area 51 holding on to their lead. How many times has the lead changed? Well, I guess our Armata only was able to take the lead in overtime, and since they've taken the lead once, they've traded the lead back and forth 5 times. It's out of control.
This is quite literally out of control.
Yes, both these teams are really just going for it, pedal to the metal, keeping the pressure up. This round, Armata, I mean, it seemed like they were, for a long time, really favoring the B bomb site, but whenever they have their super clutch rounds, the ones that they need to retie the game or kind of bring themselves back into it, it always seems to be at the A bomb site. So I think maybe they like to, face some adversity at B, make it really interesting, and then go to A when they need to, when they need to just lock it down and keep the game close.
For you math adverse, the magic number you're looking for is 28, 27 being the tie point. The first kill was in T-spawn. Pauly tried it. Chosen knows. He sees it. He sees the execute. Everybody looking up. He has to call for the rotates. Look at the mini-map. The 2-man, the 4-man sprinting to help him, but maybe he doesn't live that long. He drops back into the site smartly and buys himself some time. The smokes afford him that much time. Reds is through. Sees the bench player. Gets a kill. Then probably the market player. He can't control his AK still. 4 versus 2. Favorable odds. A2Z's looking down that bench and doesn't want to peek this off. 2 HP. Sad times for him. He's out. And for the first time in overtime, we may see a save.
Yeah, economically, they don't exactly need to save. There is enough money between the players where they can force buy if they want to. But Steno was so out of position. Oh my god, they're hunting, and they're hunting hard. But
well, in this overtime config, with the money the way it is, hunting is not a bad idea. As Romulus is about to get rolled over, though, so that was sort of a throw.
Here we go. The guy, round 2, wants it. He's going to get in there and gets blasted. All right, whatever. You can't win them all. I like the attempt.
25-25. Let's take a look at the money. Though we don't typically look at money as an indicator of success in overtime, it's becoming somewhat of a factor. We did see one gun foregone in at the end of the last overtime. I believe that was Doom, right? Yes.
That last round, I mean, the save was partially, economy-based. Area 51, could have, or, that save was pretty practical for them, but a lot of it had to do with the fact that Steno was just so out of position. They were already a man, Disciple getting a quick pick, making it a 5-on-4 really early on. But he was so out of position that, even if he ran all the way over to the B bomb site, there would have been, 10 seconds on the clock, with a 5-second defuse.
Oh my god, how did that flash? It was telegraphed. He threw it right at them, and Red still ate that.
I mean, I think at that point, that's just like nerves getting to, or not nerves, just, general mental tiredness.
Exactly. At this point, there's no more playbook. Let's not kid ourselves. Armata has run out of ideas, even though they came in with a very crisp-looking playbook. At this point, their in-game leader's just like, I'm making it up as I go. I'm out of ideas.
Right. I mean, a good team has, 10 strats maybe, or a really good team has 10 strats to go on. But 50? I don't think any team is prepared for 50 rounds.
50 rounds? That's
unbelievable. Pause.
A pause?
Oh.
A connection
Did you time out?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
We'll get an update from our admins. Perhaps it's a pause. We've seen this before. We'll go back to the lobby. And we do need somewhat of a break. A respite, really.
I don't even know what to say anymore. I need to know what's happening. I feel like I'm, one of the viewers at this point. I need to know. And my connection to the server has been timed out.
It's all right. We'll reconnect. I believe we'll have a chance to come back for it. Let's get word from our admins before we make any official statement.
Yes. Hopefully it was just, standard server crash or something like that.
It cannot end like that.
No. Although, honestly, I mean, obviously there can't be a tie, but a tie would be pretty fitting in this game. Like, there are no losers in this game. Both teams have...
Oh, you can't tell that to them. You
Yeah, no,
cannot.
they want to win. They're gonna, play their hearts out for the win. But in terms of both teams kind of proving that they belong in the professional division, both of these teams have made a great case for each other. Area 51 has been dominant in, pretty much their very kind of refined back to basics Counter-Strike, smoke people off and shoot them kind of way. And Armata proved that having a deep playbook can.
Oh, thank God.
What
It's not.
happened?
It's not what we feared. That's all I wanted to know. It's not what we feared. It's just a Counter-Strike thing. The server pooped itself.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
oh my God. It's yeah. I thought it was the other thing. You know what I think it was.
Yes.
But
And
it
luckily
was just Counter-Strike being Counter-Strike. Okay, we're good. We're good. Audience, we're good. We're really good.
So far, so good.
I'd like to take the time to remind you
And take a
that-
breather.
Yeah, to take just the slightest breather about Season 5 signups closing pretty soon. Pretty darn soon. Get your team signed up. Play with us. We have hidden ourselves away in CEVO free. Premium services brought to you by AltPug. That's like GoTV demos, stats, match mods. There's a LAN at the end. Fly out, play. It's going to be awesome. If I look like I'm unconvinced and I'm not selling this like I should be, like a used car salesman, it's because all of my energy is going into casting this game. All of it.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, God, this game has just been so awesome thus far. The back and forth has been great. Our score lines that we guessed right off the top, not super accurate, but the sentiment that we shared was that this was a really, really a close 50-50 game, and that the 65-35 betting line did not indicate properly how close of a game this
Who
really
cares
was.
about betting lines? We are here for Counter-Strike.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I completely agree, but I know a lot of people, they like their skins.
That's true. That's true. And on top of that, I guess that also allows me to mention that we'd like to thank our partners over at Game Servers for providing the server, and CSGO Lounge for providing the betting environment for you to gorge on your bad habits. What was the score when the map timed out? Was it like 24-25? 20...
It was 25-25 before we disconnected. Remember, we're on a 2-minute delay, so you got to assume that round was played out, right? I mean, I don't really know how that's going to work. I think one team it's going to be 26-25 in favor of one team is my guess. I don't know which team it will be though.
Can this overtime literally be so long that we have to, dare I say, postpone?
No.
No.
Get that
Get that crazy
Get
notion out
your
of here.
head. Yeah, I don't even want to hear that. I'm looking at the back end chat right now. Another server is being reserved. Spangler ready to go on the match medic. So as soon as we have this server up, we'll be
Good.
be back in the game. Yeah, there is no postponing of anything. The game is not canceled. I know the Twitch chat likes to run with crazy things like that. None of that is true. The game will be going underway.
I've got the exact
Soon.
stats for you. It's 25-25. 3 Armata players are dead. And
Okay. Wow.
no,
Are they just going to continue from mid-round?
well, Spangler's matchmaking skills is weirdly good. I'm not sure if it's so good that it can count people dead, but I'd be amazed. I would be amazed. And it's not the first time that he's amazed me. I think, more than likely, we probably, in real time, saw this on stream as 25-25 with 2 people live for Armata. It was probably 26-25 by the time the server crashed in-game, so it won't be that big of a deal.
Right. Do you have any new information or info I guess?
Info is about server spooling up.
Yeah, Spangler just said, okay, go join it, but I didn't see any server info go out. I'm reconnecting to the GoTV that just booted us, so I'm going to take a look in there and see if that's where we are supposed to be.
They'll contact us momentarily. First and foremost, the players have to be situated, and then we get taken care of as casters. So if they're delayed, we're delayed, and they're now connecting, so we can see them doing that.
Are they now connecting?
The players, I mean, not not the you and me.
To what?
To the new server that we don't have the IP for yet.
Oh, okay. So that's okay. Sorry, just making sure. I don't want to miss anything here. I'm clearly emotional and irrational right now.
Me too. I'm not thinking straight.
Yeah, I mean, man, this brings me back to two games. Okay, the information is out there. I'll send that your way. The games it reminds me of are iBuyPower versus Complexity, the game I mentioned before.
The fact that this is sloppier than iBuyPower versus Complexity makes it more entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, this is like when you see a boxing match. Part of what's exciting about boxing can be like the real technical back and forth aspect of it, which some people really appreciate. But what a lot of people like to see, in like boxing or sports like that is like hard hits, fast action, and pretty much just craziness going on. So we're getting, I think, a little bit of both. Our Area 51 definitely trying to force it into that, exciting knockout, go for broke kind of gameplay, just, trying to get out there and shoot. And Armata trying to, or, what they, at their core.
Sorry to wait. Let me ask you real quick. You have that IP. Is the delay done? Are you?
I'm at a loading screen and it's on season, so no.
So the server just spooled up.
Yes.
Okay. We haven't missed anything.
No,
that's what I'm afraid of. That's what everybody in the stream's afraid of. They're like, you guys shut up. Don't miss anything. We need to be in there. We know because we want to do this as much as you.
Yes. Yeah, no, I'm flying around season right now, not the map obviously that we're playing with. The game was on Mirage. It's switching over now. Yeah, I recommend you hop in the server. This game is awesome. Getting back to what I was saying, Armata really trying to force just the technical game, employing everything that they have in their strat book, or that's what they were doing more so earlier on in the game.
And they've changed their philosophy. They went with a 5 rifle look, and they went with a lot of aggressive pushes. Now, instead of a lot of passive looks initially, then they swapped to a more aggressive look, and then evolutionarily with their aggression, they sort of, I guess, philosophically, they contradicted themselves. An Opper as an anchor, and then on the flanks of the map, sending rifles to push in the far lanes of the map, making it very difficult for Area 51 to read.
Right. We've seen ops kind of dictate the game and dictate super important rounds pretty much all game. I'm kind of surprised that we're not seeing them more specifically from A to Z. I mean, we've just seen how practical they are in the hands of Doom, more so on the T side than the CT side, at least from what we've seen. And, Area 51 hasn't exactly been struggling on their T side recently, but it is, the tougher side for them from what we've seen thus far. I want to see A to Z maybe bring that up, into the A apartments just like Doom did, try to emulate that. Because clearly it worked against them. Maybe it'll work for them.
I've just brought everyone back into the server. If you're just joining us, and I don't know why you're just joining us, you should have been here the entire time. We're in quadruple overtime. The longest overtime in our brief CEVO TV history. Please, please tell your friends. There is no reason not to see the conclusion.
Absolutely, yes. Going back into the server right now, an empty server, unfortunately. We're working off of a delay. Players will be joining and we'll be underway. I mean, I know it's just a setback, not a huge deal, but, man, that's a momentum crusher.
Well, I will contradict you by saying this. Whose momentum? What momentum? Everybody was trading. There was no momentum.
Yeah. It was, right. It was not necessarily like a one team's momentum, but it was really like just that emotional momentum of the back
it was
and
just
forth.
Adrenaline pumping all
Yeah,
the time.
exactly, right. Like, I wonder if, with these teams have like a 3 or 4 minute cool off or however long we had to wait to get the new server information. I wonder if that, that kind of adrenaline dump of, adrenaline's like, it's not like this is like a life or death situation for these teams, but when your heart is going in a super close game, like that could be the difference between a super fast reaction or missing a shot or under or overshooting. I wonder if the long break that these two teams are going to be facing will kind of result in an adrenaline dump where a team comes back.
Is that a term now? Adrenaline dump.
Well, okay. I mean, I'm a fan of MMA in general, mixed martial arts, UFC, Bellator, things like that.
Yeah.
And that's like a huge thing in in the the sport, like using your adrenaline effectively, because adrenaline is a super important resource, and and obviously in combat sports where it's a little more intense, but also on a on a slightly smaller scale in Counter Strike. And when you're all worked up and you have that adrenaline going and your heart's going, you're excited, and then you have to stand around for 5 minutes, you really lose it. And in mixed martial arts, it's usually seen in long tournaments, 8-man tournaments where you build up all this adrenaline for your first fight, you win, and by the time you get to the second fight, you're kind of drained.
Okay, all right. So point taken. Doesn't happen. And who's is if anybody does it affect?
I mean, I guess it's hard to say because the adrenaline or whatever, the momentum wasn't exactly favoring one team in particular. I think if anything, it might affect Area 51 more, just because they were playing a faster, more intense play style in general. Although Armata did shift their gameplay towards that, as the game progressed. But maybe it might affect none of the teams. It might affect both of the teams. I think if it will affect one, it might favor Area 51.
I guess I would agree. Area 51's playstyle is just typically, and that word topically, adrenaline pumping. They are turbo all the time.
Right. I see 10. No, I don't see 10 players in the server. That's why
it was bot Jim.
Bot Jim. Bot Jim.
Not as good as bot Leslie.
No, I'm a big fan of bot Gabe.
Ooh.
I respect our Valve overlords.
His hitboxes are a little bit too big, though.
But he has a huge knife collection.
That's also true.
Wow.
And was that also some sort of weird euphemism?
Well, no. I don't know if Gabe Newell has a size.
I know. Literally, he has a.
But yeah, so he has a huge actual knife collection, physical knives that you can hold. Do you think he has like one of every knife in Counter Strike? Where he's like, I got all these real knives. Now it's time to get those pixel knives.
No, I'm gonna tell you right now that he probably doesn't have those scorched gut knives.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Obviously he's all fact new everything, stat track everything. Just like the top tier, like the bayonet phage. He's got 2 or 3 of those. Some crimson webs. He's all up in that.
I'm ready. Who are we missing?
We
Let's
need this
pull up
game.
the rosters. Area 51 has everyone accounted for and present. Armata has Reds 1, Romulus,
Missing the guy.
Doom, and Samrock or Amaru. And the guy, you're right, is not present. Let's check the back end to see if there's any sort of mention of his delay.
No, I don't see anything in particular. I think it might just be, going to the bathroom, taking a quick breather, grabbing a drink.
Telling his mom that he's got to wait for dinner, leave it in the microwave. I'm really
20
busy.
more minutes, Mom. 20 more minutes.
I swear.
I went through that phase. I've had to do that before. I think the guy is, he's an adult. I'm pretty sure that's not what he's going through, but we've all had to go through that at some point.
Like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, for me it was yesterday. Whatever.
I don't want to do predictions. I don't want to think. My brain is cooling down after casting just on pure fumes.
Right. Well, I mean, this is kind of what I was talking about on a slightly different scale for the players. You're experiencing the adrenaline dump. It's real. It's you're feeling it. Obviously on a much smaller scale. Like as excited as we are about it, and excited as the crowd is about it, you got to imagine.
Trolling us.
Yeah, trolling us hard. I wonder, it could have been, what I was thinking, I don't know how accurate this is, it could have been like a timing issue on the server. I mean, the servers are rented from game servers. There could be like, maybe like a 2-hour timer or an hour and a half timer. I don't know how long.
That's true.
That could have been what it was. Because it really just seemed to happen apropos of nothing.
Which is not a problem on the premium servers, but I suppose we are just a little while from full implementation.
Oh, that's going to be exciting.
Note to self, just don't go into quintuple overtime, sextuple overtime.
Yes. If you're going to have a long game, you're going to have to, take time to rent another server, maybe just throw a few rounds.
Here comes a restart, and hopefully, fingers crossed, a match mode. Oh, yeah. So confirmation.
26-25.
Yeah, exactly. Confirmation. we didn't miss anything. The server was ahead of us, and we were in a GoTV that's delayed. Effectively, this is the official result of that, and I think we also conveniently swapped halves. Is that right?
Yes, yeah, I think so. Well, yeah, it was the end of the half. This is just starting over. Yeah, right. This is what it should be, right? They were on CT before.
I think we're perfect. Yeah, and remember the magic number should be 28.
Yes, yeah. Batman, aka Spangler, always on top of it, giving an awesome match medic, or putting the match medic to work.
Let me do that math. I cannot get that wrong. Is 28 our number?
Well, it's 25, 26 right now, and it's like the first to 4, like with the win by 2.
Let's do math.
I think it's 28. I've lost track of it. The adrenaline dump is more of a mental dump and a math dump for me.
So 24, yeah, 28 would be the magic number.
28 it is. All right. I know you said pretty specifically that you weren't going to do Preds, but I'm going to force you to. Who is going to win this game at this point?
Armata.
Armata. Wow. Armata.
I would love the epic comeback. Like, I know romantically I see the American flag up there and the USA chants and everybody loves like the epic slugfest in overtime, but I saw Armata start so poorly and I just felt so robbed when they didn't win that beautiful pistol round.
So yeah, I mean that you're pulling for him. I get that. Area 51 has that 1-round advantage. I think that's going to make a big difference. I think I'm going to disagree. I think Area 51 has what it takes to keep the pressure up and win these last few rounds. They are a team of ex-world-class 1.6 players who played at the highest level of competition. They are no strangers to pressure and to just general nerves. So
I can't help but feel that this may be growing into a group of death where I didn't think it before.
Yeah, who else is in? Like, it's Area 51, Armata.
Yeah, we have time to look this up. It's Anonymous 5 plus one other.
Was it
Perfection Vor?
That is a scary.
That's a group of death. Anonymous 5 has players from Zex in 1.6. Area 51 and Armata are showing their colors right now. Pivor has one main. This is a brutal road to travel.
Yeah, talent stacked group. I guess of these teams, you have to. I guess I'm inclined to believe that Anonymous 5 is the team that might not make it. They're going to be that fourth team, but man, it's just such a tough group that even if they do get knocked out, they're losing to some of the other stiffest competition around, and even still they aren't exactly knocked out yet. That's just a pure mildly educated guess, based on how I've seen Perfection Vor play and they play really well, and how we're watching these two teams play right now.
Chosen's getting just a little cranky. We have a phone call right now, an actual phone call on the Armata side as they try to get everything squared away. Look at the purchases, though.
Here we go.
And there's the ready up from the guy. 26, 25. Your tie point's 27. Your game is at 28. There will never be a 28. We're going to like 7 overtimes.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, if we see an OT5, wouldn't really be that shocked either.
How do we open? How do we get our minimap back? There it is. 10 seconds before this one starts. Just kidding. That timer was completely wrong mid-smoke. And
fooled you.
The split for the CTs. A actual controller for mid for the first time in a long time. And just kidding. He goes to the connector. Split A and a push. Reds 1. Don't turn away, Disciple. There's still someone right next to you. The number 5 man has turned his back. Doom is waiting for him. On the other side of the map, the trade. Amaru or
Samrock?
I was thinking that Doom was about to push, so I cut off my sentence, but Samrock gets the kill. And Doom will join. So I've said this before. Not a soul is ever surprised that this goes back and forth like this. Paul is up in fire, standing literally on the flames themselves, and the tongues of fire hurt not him, not his team. 2 versus 2. 1 in the sight by the wooden boxes, the L box killed by Disciple. Now 2 versus 1. Now 1 versus 1. It's Samrock versus Disciple. He has the bomb, and it's a squared off match inside of bomb site A. 40 seconds, 38, 35-ish. And no real reason to... Oh! I was about to just write that off.
No.
I was ready to say that was an Armata win.
Oh, Samrock unfortunately caught the last remaining tires, and in terms of trying the right time to catch someone off guard while they are both moving and jumping is not when you want to shoot at them. Because of that, he tried to follow the player, missed his initial spray of bullets, and was unable to regain the spray once the player landed.
So here's your question and answer. Who eats that adrenaline dump? It turned out to be Armata. Now they must win out, unless you've already come up with your own scenarios about how they don't. But Area 51 is on the game point. They just need the 1. It's an execute on A, and there will be probably a speed component to it. They will not go for picks. They'll shove their way into the site, and the finesse has been gone. It's been gone for the last 2 overtimes, but not the 3rd one.
The guy still has his eye on B, which is, unfortunately incorrect, but I like where his head's at. This kind of fake, would make a difference in a game that's this close. But no, the bomb is going down in the A bomb site, so he will rotate back.
Romulus can't see, flicks up, drops the bomb carrier. Armata is so close to being knocked out of this one. Tragically, after staging such a courageous comeback, Paul is on the flank, and he may be the guy's executioner. Bomb plant's almost a success. Here it is. Oh my god. Oh, don't do that. Doom versus 3. And to end it, Area 51 is all but ready. A2Z cleans it up in 4 overtimes to the scoreline of 28-25. They win it, and they didn't even win the tournament. They just
game.
They just earned another point in the group. Minds blown. You're watching CEVO TV.